Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Intellabridge's channel. We're sitting here once again with CEO John Eagleton, who previously in the last video, you got to know his past. He was sitting there talking to my cohort, Jason. But today we want to dive deeper into the company itself. So, John, how are you doing today? And are you ready to dive in?
Good. Thanks for having me back again on your show.
Of course, of course. Well, it's your show today. So let's jump in then. So most people know about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, but a lot of people are kind of new to the DeFi space. So imagine you meet me and I'm brand new to DeFi. Give me the elevator pitch of what you guys do at Intellabridge.
Sure. So the product is Cash. Cash is a blockchain banking solution, much like a traditional bank, which has checking and savings accounts, but it's based on stablecoin technology as opposed to traditional fiat technology. So what that means is that it's faster and cheaper to send money if you're remittance purposes or payment purposes, but it's also has higher interest rates than traditional banking institutions. So basically, there's two types of customers. The customers in emerging market countries, high inflation countries, where inflation is greater than 10%. And they're actually, there's something called an inflation tax, which means that the hard-earned money that they've earned is losing value because of inflation and depreciation. So they benefit by with a decentralized banking solution like ours because they can hold their money in a stablecoin US dollar and earn interest on it. And then the second type of customer is a customer in developed markets like the US and Canada, where they're not able to save at very high rates. In fact, there's a problem of savings in these markets, people living paycheck to paycheck and come into financial emergency situations where they need to pay bills and they can't because they don't have the savings. So our platform is actually designed to encourage people to save because there's high interest rates. And that's sort of part of our mission.
Yeah, let's dive into that a little bit deeper, because anyone coming from the traditional banking system, checking, savings, a potential of a 19% interest rate is phenomenal. So how do you pull that off?
Well, yeah, it seems phenomenal in today's terms. Back in the 80s, bond rates were at 15% as well. So a lot of it depends on market conditions. But if you look at it from a macro perspective, banking institutions are essentially making the spread between lenders and borrowers. People are borrowing on credit cards at 15, 18%. People are lending, putting their money in a savings account and earning less than 1%. So, banks are making that spread. With blockchain technology, everything is peer-to-peer. There's no centralized intermediary like a bank. So that means the spread is basically shared between the lenders and the borrowers. So that's sort of at a macro level. In terms of sort of how it actually works, people are familiar with Bitcoin, Bitcoin mining. It's called proof of work. And with proof of work, you're essentially using your mining equipment to earn a reward on the Bitcoin blockchain. Other blockchains like Ethereum and Terra are based on proof of stake. So you earn rewards by staking your tokens. So essentially what's happening is the rewards from staking those tokens that borrowers use to stake those tokens are going to the lenders. And that's why you're able to earn much higher interest rates in the DeFi marketplace.
Okay, yeah. So in DeFi, you're kind of giving people a lot of that spread there. How does Intellabridge gain revenue out of these interactions?
So we have three lines of revenue. The first is transaction fees. So anyone who's got a stable coin and they're using it to make payments or they're using it for remittance purposes, we charge a transaction fee on that. Those transaction fees are much lower than traditional market transaction fees. If you look at remittance platforms like Western Union and MoneyGram, average globally is about 6%. Our transaction fees are less than 0.5%. So very competitive there. The second line of revenue is on the interest rates. So our interest rates we're offering are between 15 and 19%, and we're taking some of that spread as cost of doing business. The third line of revenue is in our B2B marketing, B2B business. We recently launched a corporate partners program, which is a white label program for businesses that want to be able to offer their customers blockchain banking solutions. So we have a revenue share with those partners.
All right, and I know you can't go too deep into the partners, but what kind of partners are you targeting here? So like what industries are you looking at, and what are your future plans with those?
Yeah, so we're in talks with potential partners and partners in e-commerce, telecommunications, foreign exchange, remittance. So these are companies that have become aware of the DeFi of the, from a remittance perspective, the low cost of remittance, and this is a better payment rail for remittance. E-commerce companies, where they want to be able to offer better fees, lower fees for their merchants, better opportunities, cashbacks for their customers, and telecommunication companies that already have a customer base and want to be able to offer those customers blockchain banking solution.
All right, John. Well, it seems like you have a pretty solid plan there. You got B2B, you got B2C, you got it all covered. Can you tell us some future plans? I know you can't give too many spoilers. Just let us know some outlines what you got going on.
Well, a lot of our future plans are based on the feedback we're getting from customers. We launched in March, got some incredible feedback from our first users, and a lot of the customer demand is actually, and interest is in the debit card. And I think the reason is that because in the DeFi space, in the blockchain space, you do have a friction point of on-ramp and off-ramp that's going from fiat currency to a cryptocurrency, and there are companies that are building those bridges, and we're partnered with those companies. The debit card is a great off-ramp because it means you can easily spend your stable coins with a Visa or a MasterCard. So that's something that we were originally launching in Q4, but based on customer demand, we're trying to accelerate that to Q3.
Awesome. Yeah, it's always great to get customer input, and it's awesome you guys are working with them and flexible and trying to get things to them as soon as possible. I want to say to everyone, thank you for watching so far. We got great feedback on that last video as well. If you have any questions, please send them over to us. Don't be afraid to go to Intellabridge.com. We'll have a link in the description below. Try the demo yourselves and stay tuned for more. John, any last words before we go?
No, as I said before, I'll save the next words for the next video.
Well, fair enough. We'll save that. Save that for the next one. All right, John, thank you so much for coming on. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you.